Hey guys, I hope you're having a good Sunday so far. So, today I'm going to get right into this. As you know, my Instagram is Megan K Motivate. That is Megankay Motivate. That is also my YouTube if you want to go ahead and follow me. So, today I wanted to get into a little more about relationships because that's kind of in this whole emotional abuse. Also, if you noticed, I actually changed my bio from narcissistic abuse to emotional. I recently got some really good advice from some mentors who said that it might be better for me to actually be a little bit more general, although I was thinking before that being more specific was good. Whatever, it's all a learning process. We're growing, we're learning, we're doing well. Anyway, so emotional abuse is, really bad all across the board, and ultimately that is what I'm trying to help make a difference in. But where this journey has brought me in terms of the IGTV videos is my personal experience, what I'm learning, and a lot of it has to do with relationships because a lot of it, that's where you see the issues. So if you notice, if you've had emotional abuse with a family member or with an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, this can affect you in the future in a lot of different ways. And something I wanted to touch on today was something I was thinking about very recently with a lot of my friends. So I have a couple long-term friends. As you know, I visited San Antonio, and a lot of the friends that I visited there, I didn't visit that many people, like what, 4 people? I've known them for, let's see, anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 years. It's been a long time, right? And so a lot of times when people think about that, they're like, okay, well, you got to stay friends with these people because you've known them so long and they know you and you know them, and you can't really sever that and get rid of that, right? And that's a beautiful thing. I think that friendships that are long term are really cool, and if you can, you kind of get to a certain place and you're like, wow, we've had, this many years where we've been this close, right? And this can go for a relationship too. I actually wanted to tie this to romantic relationships in terms of abusive relationships, but we'll get there in a minute. What I've been realizing though is I don't think I want the reason why I'm still friends with certain people. Carrie Mosel's one of them. I can tag her in the Carrie's a G. I feel like I think I've known her for about, is it 15 years? It's been a long time, since elementary school. So let me think, actually. That would be, I don't know how old I was in elementary school, whatever. It's a long time. So my point is, I don't want the reason I'm friends with her to be just because of history. Just because we've known each other such a long time doesn't mean we're required to stay friends. The reason we should be staying friends is because we have worked through it together, and we've committed to making the relationship that we have a healthy relationship, even if we mess up sometimes. And something else to realize that I've also learned is that you're gonna mess up sometimes. Hopefully not that much, but sometimes it happens, and you're going to have to figure out ways to actually navigate that. Okay. So now let's bring this into romantic relationships and how this works. I've had people who have been with their partners for a really, really long time, but the partner is abusive. And, when you ask them, why don't you leave? Sometimes the reason is, well, I don't want to be alone. I've been with them so long, and, I don't feel like I can leave. There's too much history there. We love each other, etc., etc., etc. That is not a valid I shouldn't call it an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not a valid reason to stay in the relationship, because it's one thing to have history, but if the history you have with that person is hurting you ultimately all the time, continuously, then that's not healthy for you. And I think that that's something to really remember. So I guess what I'm taking away from that learning, what I've been learning, and what I guess you guys can also take away, and this is a really, really short, wow. How do I write this out? And I'm going to write this out in the section under this as well, because I think it's really important. Instead of basing your friendships and the reason you're in your long-term friendships or relationships on the fact that you just have history, because you're going to have history with quite a few people, okay? There's going to be a lot of people who see different sides of you, and you're going to feel like they care about you and that they're your friend anyway. That's great. Commitment is great. And if you guys watch Jane the Virgin, awesome show. You can also know that she says, that's not meant to be, that's commitment. And it's truly about committing to the friendship or the relationship that you're in and knowing that you're going to be there for that person. And that's not just saying, oh, you're just there. You're actually working to make it work, because sometimes a friendship does take that kind of work, and a relationship that's romantic definitely takes that kind of work. Honestly, I would say both of them really do. But yeah, I would just take away that it's not just about history. It's about how you treat each other. It's about how healthy you can make that space that both of you are in long term. Yeah. I think I said that right. Anyway, guys, that was a really fast one, but I need to go ahead and go. Guys, have a great day. Like I said, this is all about stuff that I'm learning over time each week. Sometimes I learn something big, sometimes I learn something a little small, other times I'm just going to tell you something I've been thinking about for a while. But yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about and I think is a really good thing to put on my radar for future anything. That it's not just about history, it's about how you treat each other and the relationship that you actually have. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day. As always, show me your walk.